It's that specific feeling on a Sunday afternoon. Maybe you've been scrolling through a feed for 40 minutes, or maybe you've just been sitting on the edge of the bed, staring at the floor, unable to decide what to do next. Suddenly, you look at the clock and an hour is just gone. And in that moment, a very specific kind of coldness creeps in. It's not just boredom, it's a flicker of panic, a sense that you've dropped something precious down a storm drain and you'll never get it back. We live in a world that tracks every second. We have apps that tell us how productive we were, and life hacks to shave 3 minutes off our morning routine. We are terrified of wasting time. But I wonder, what are we actually saving it for? Are we hoarding our hours like gold in a vault, or are we just terrified of what happens when the room goes quiet and there's nothing left to do? Charles Darwin, a man who spent decades obsessing over the slowest processes in nature, the tiny shifts in a bird's beak or the crawl of a glacier, once wrote something that feels like a punch to the gut for anyone living in the modern world. He said, "A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life." Before you agree with him, before you think, "Yes, I need to be more disciplined," I want you to pause. Don't take his word for it. Just because he mapped out the history of life doesn't mean he knew exactly how to live it. Let's look at that sentence not as a command, but as a challenge, a very uncomfortable one. What does Darwin actually mean by waste? It's a heavy word. It implies that time is a resource, like coal or water, that must be used correctly. But who decides the correct use of an hour? Is an hour spent napping a waste? Is an hour spent grieving a waste? Is an hour spent staring at the clouds, trying to remember the name of a childhood friend, a waste of life? Darwin's quote assumes that life has a measurable value that can be traded. It suggests that if we aren't producing or learning or evolving, we are somehow failing the very fact of our existence. But I wonder, who does that idea benefit? Does it benefit our souls, or does it just benefit a world that demands we always be useful? And if we stop daring to waste time, do we stop being human and start being machines? We feel Darwin's ghost every day. We feel it when we're at dinner with someone we love, but our mind is drifting toward an email we haven't sent. We feel it when we take a vacation and feel guilty for not doing enough while we're there. We've turned the value of life into a project. We optimize our sleep, our hobbies, even our relationships. We read books on how to read more books. But look at our lived experience. We spend hours in traffic. We spend hours in meetings that could have been emails. We spend hours distracted by noise we didn't ask for. If Darwin is right and an hour wasted means we don't value life, then most of us are failing every single day. Or maybe the waste isn't the time itself. Maybe the waste is the anxiety we feel about the time. We spend so much energy worrying about whether we're using our life well that we forget to actually live the hour we're currently in. Let's try to push back against Darwin. What if the most valuable moments in life are exactly the ones that look like waste from the outside? Think about the best moments you've ever had. Often they aren't the moments of high achievement. They're the wasted hours, the 3-hour conversation that went nowhere, the afternoon you spent wandering a city you didn't know without a map, the morning you stayed in bed just listening to the rain. If we dare to waste an hour, maybe we aren't disrespecting life. Maybe we're actually honoring it. Maybe valuing life means recognizing that we are more than just a ticking clock. Darwin was a man of the 19th century, a time of industry, of categorizing the world, of relentless progress. But we know now that ecosystems need fallow periods. Fields need to lie empty to become fertile again. What if a human life needs wasted hours just to stay sane?
I want you to think about the last hour of your life, just the last 60 minutes. Was it useful? Did it add value to your existence? Now, I want you to ask yourself, does it matter? If you knew this was your last day, would you spend it trying to be productive, or would you dare to waste every single minute of it on the things that have no value to anyone but you? There's a strange, quiet tension in the idea of wasting time. It makes us feel like we're losing. But in the silence of an unplanned hour, sometimes we find a version of ourselves that isn't trying to perform for the world. Darwin's quote is a warning. He's telling us that our time is finite, and he's right. Every hour is a heartbeat we won't get back. But I wonder if the value of life is found in the work we do, or if it's found in the freedom to let an hour slip through our fingers just because we can. Are you afraid of wasting time, or are you afraid of what you'll find in the empty spaces if you stop being busy? I don't have the answer. I don't know if Darwin was a genius or just a man who forgot how to rest. But next time you find yourself wasting an hour, maybe don't rush to fix it. Just notice how it feels to let the clock tick without asking for anything in return. What is your life worth when you aren't doing anything at all?